X. What's important for us about Malcolm X is that Malcolm X really serves as a common denominator for groups of radicals in places like Harlem, Detroit, Oakland, and Chicago. And when we think about these radicals, what did they want? Well, these were African Americans at times with white allies who were arguing for radical self-determination at the local, national, and international level. What's interesting for our purposes, when we think about the years 1954 to 1965, we usually chronicle those years as the heroic period of the Civil Rights Movement. When we think about the heroic period of the Civil Rights Movement, we follow an easy trajectory from the Brown versus Board of Education decision of 1954 to the lynching of Emmett Till in Money, Mississippi in 1955, to the 13-month Montgomery bus boycott that introduces a 26-year-old Martin Luther King Jr. on a national landscape in 1955 and 1956, the Little Rock, Arkansas crisis of 1957, when federal intervention is needed to integrate Little Rock High School. 1960, and February 1st, 1960, Greensboro, North Carolina, and the start of the sit-in movement, and 2 months later, the start of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or SNCC, but really the most important grassroots civil rights organization of that era. 1962, Oxford, Mississippi explodes in 3 days of rage when James Meredith attempts to enroll as the first black student at the University of Mississippi. 1963, we see Birmingham Spring. And Birmingham Spring is very important because, as I'll discuss in a few minutes, Malcolm X is also talking about Birmingham, that spring in Birmingham as well, from Washington, D.C. as a militant statesman. When we think about Birmingham, Alabama in '63, we see the Children's Crusade. 700 third and fourth graders are going to be arrested. And that's really going to precipitate John F. Kennedy's memorable 8-minute address to the nation talking about ending the Jim Crow system. Certainly on August 28, 1963, we see Martin Luther King Jr. deliver his famous March on Washington, I Have a Dream speech. 4 weeks later, less than 4 weeks later, 4 black girls are killed at the Birmingham Baptist Church, 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. In 1964, we flash forward to the passage of the Civil Rights Act, and by 1965, we've got Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama, and on August 6, 1965, Lyndon Johnson signs the Voting Rights Act. That's the new trajectory of the heroic period of the Civil Rights Movement. From that perspective, Martin Luther King becomes the national political mobilizer, the Nobel Peace